What are some free/cheap activities you can do by yourself if you don't have any friends? Anything fitness based is usually a good bet: running, hill walking, swimming, cycling, lifting weights, etc. You could go roller skating or go on climbing walls, fairly cheap. You can just spend time exploring, like taking a peaceful walk in the woods, visiting the beach for the day, or hanging out by a stream/lake, etc. Take up a new hobby like reading or writing, maybe bird watching, or stargazing, photography, if you have a camera, or art/crafts, maybe jewelry making, or learn to knit/sew. You could try learning an instrument or even a language. Seconding taking up hobbies. It can take some trial and error, but finding things that stick can really boost confidence once you're proficient at them. Some of my hobbies have even helped me make friends. For example, I brought up how I take walks to play Pokemon Go to an acquaintance, and now we're good friends and do raids together. They're a good way to find enjoyment on your own but also make friends through having the same interests. Rock climbing is an especially great hobby to take up. It's fun, it's great for your body, and in general, the rock climbing community is filled with some of the most open, friendly, and generous people I've ever met. I've made several good friends from just climbing at a certain gym a lot, seeing the same people, and eventually developing a relationship. So many people are desperate for a climbing partner, or just someone to join their group. Like I said, one of the best ways to make friends. Also, I know Reddit cheats on CrossFit a lot, but that is another place where you will find a lot of very friendly, very open people in my experience. You could volunteer for a cause you believe in. Or an animal shelter if you like animals. You may find people who are like-minded and bond with them. Or find a game night in your area. Board games, etc. Some bookstores have game night, Scrabble or backgammon. Or play a solo game. There are some great board games with solo plays. Personally, I like Terraforming Mars. Pro tip: pretty much every cooperative game is actually a single-player game, and almost all are better as a single-player game. What happens if you try to actually play a cooperative game with multiple people is that the best player usually knows or has figured out what the optimal strategy is, so they just tell everyone else what to do on their turn. So you either just do what someone else told you, not fun, or you ignore them and do your own thing, usually screwing over everyone. Initially fun during the turn, but then ultimately not fun when everyone is mad at you for ruining/losing the game. It's much better/more fun to just play those games by yourself, where you get to make all the decisions and not have to worry about either being bossed around or doing that to others. For example, I really like playing Pandemic by myself. It's absolutely terrible with other people. This is what always happens with other players involved. Player A says player B needs to move to Moscow and remove the blue cubes. He's the only one within range to get there in time. We're also likely to flip the Beijing card soon, so player C needs to use their Tokyo card to fly, then move there and clear out red cubes this turn. So what exactly are players B and C supposed to do other than follow those instructions? Not fun for them at all. If player C is like, nah, I want to save the Tokyo card, I'm just going to tidy up in South America, then the next turn you get hit with an outbreak in Beijing and lose. Also not fun. Playing by yourself and being able to just move the scientist to Moscow and the medic to Beijing when and how you want to, lots of fun. This isn't really free/cheap advice though, because board games can be expensive to accumulate. More fun with people, but if you have geocaching in your area and people still do it, that is fun and challenging. There's also letterboxing, which is geocaching except with rubber stamps. Very small investment RO start. Ink pad, stamp, and a notebook. You can drive, walk, bike, hike to destinations. AtlasQuest.com can help you get started. Gym. You can kill 2 to 3 hours every day easily. I'd say you can even make friends there if you want to. Who actually wants to be talked to in the gym? Library. Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. Jekyll Jekyll Hyde, Jekyll Hyde Hyde Jekyll. Learn a musical instrument. It's honestly such a rewarding experience, as well as relaxing and stress relieving too. You can work towards little goals of learning songs and you feel yourself improving with each session. It's also fun to talk about and will impress your friends. I'm currently learning to play the ukulele, previously a music virgin, which is great for beginners. I have no friends, I decided to join an adult sports recreational league. I still have no friends, but at least I get to pretend for a couple of hours a week. Recommend. Library card and take advantage of all their resources. Not only can you borrow books, but a lot of them have great movie and video game collections. You can also use your library account to access lynda.com and all of their learning videos on there. Also be sure to check out the events and clubs hosted by your library. You might be surprised at a lot of the cool things you can do for free/cheap and you could end up making some friends. Yoga man in lotus position. I totally agree. It's great for both mind and body. Plus, you'll meet some of the very best people at a yoga studio. When I don't know what to do, I pay like $3 and I spend my day in the metro, all the lines, everything. I stay underground all day long and I look at the art that are exposed there. I live in Montreal. Dumpster diving. Although it's always more fun with friends. Where are you from? Not to sound creepy, but you said it's more fun W friends. Where I live, the apartments have more stuff in the dumpsters, and all the stores have enclosed trash compactors. So, it's better to have friends along to drive around and dumpster dive so you can chat and find things together to either use yourself or donate to Goodwill. Going dumpster diving by yourself tends to seem creepy to some folks, and they're more likely to call the cops on a trash digger. Bike riding. Walking. Video games. Learn magic on YouTube or learn any new skill. Going to a museum. You may think that you need people around to talk about what you're looking at, but if you go by yourself, you can think more intimately about what you see and become inspired to do something creative. Or it just help you center yourself when you feel stressed. I'm really bored and want to run, but my normal running routes aren't doing it for me. I will catch a train or tram to a random suburb in the city I live in and run the streets there. I always find some new random stores and cafes. It is always on a Saturday morning as well, so there's a bit of life around the place. Just started writing again and I forgot how freeing it is. Even if I'm writing gibberish and it's literally just a recap of what I did that day, it takes a lot off your mind. And I find that by the time I finish writing a recap of my day, I have the mental space to write creatively. Good luck, friend. Victory hand. Pretty much anything outside. Walking, jogging, buy a second-hand bike. Bird/animal watch. If you have access to the countryside, you can go berry picking or whatever. Lots of sports are fairly easy on the pocketbook. Soccer, for example. Read. Second-hand thrift stores have cheap books. Download free ebooks. r/free ebooks or Project Gutenberg. Edit, and when I say sports I mean join a rec league or something. You don't need to join with a friend.